Today I'm going to tell you the meaning of Aberamentho and why I chose that name for the community that I'm creating. So stay tuned and I'll tell you the story. Life is a battle, and spirituality is the toolkit you need to survive it. Through my own personal experience, I will show you how to live spirituality on a daily basis. This is also the journal of the Aberamentho Sustainable Community, an experiment on human evolution, seeking to create a different type of human society based on sacred principles. Hello, fellow magicians, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about the name of the community, which is Aberamentho. In the Nag Hammadi scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls that were discovered in the 1940s, I think it was 1945, I think. Anyways, in this text, specifically in the Pistis Sophia, they talk about the teachings of Jesus after he came down from the cross, because he actually stayed with the apostles. I think it was like 12 years longer to teach them different things from the ones that we find in the Bible. In the Pistis Sophia, which is one of these Gnostic books, it's mentioned that when Jesus came down from the cross, he changed his name to Aberamentho. There's a phrase there that is Jesus, the one known as Aberamentho, or something like that. And according to José Luis Parise, Aberamentho means I am magic. It's not just, I am a magician, but I am magic. And I think that this is a really powerful name. And when Jesus chose this name, is actually quite significant, because all the teachings, the teachings that Jesus was telling us or sharing with us, all these teachings were pretty much so that we can become creators, so magicians, and that's the name of the channel, White Magicians. And so I believe, and as I said before on my previous channel, I am not a religious person. I am not going to mention here, or I'm going to use the figure of Jesus here, but in a very different context from the one that you are used to, especially if you have learned, as most of us, about Christianity and Catholicism and whatnot. I'm not going to use the figure of Jesus in the same way that you're used to. So that's a disclosure. So yeah, going back to Aberamentho, when Jesus picked this name is because it's highly significant. So what he was saying is that was the summary of all his teachings, I think, meaning that his teachings actually are there so that we could become creators, so magicians, and that's why I also named this channel White Magicians. And the reason why I say that is because also in the Bible, not in the Dead Sea Scrolls that are not, I'm not sure if they're recognized by the Vatican or what's the status of these books by the Vatican, but in any case, in the Bible, Jesus says, you're capable of doing similar things to the ones that I do, and even better, and even become bigger and more powerful than me. So that's why I think that the purpose of this third dimension is for us to actually train ourselves in becoming creators, in using our creative powers to actually solidify and materialize our dreams and what we want to create in life. And the problem with the society that we have right now is that society right now doesn't actually value creation or creativity in any possible way. It's actually our current system, and even previous systems have actually tried to suppress the creative instinct or power that human beings have. And so I think that we need to regain that power by becoming creators or magicians. And so that's why I use the name Aberamentho for the community, because I want the community to become that, to become a place where you can actually become a magician, where you can actually potentiate your creative powers beyond what you think is possible. I mean, to be able to create whatever is in your heart. And again, one disclosure, this is for white magicians. And so the human path is to become creators. And, I can use also quantum physics for that, to so you guys understand better. Quantum physics, I think, is a very interesting science that merges ancient mysticism with current science, and actually give us an understanding of ancient mysticism. In quantum science, they realized that, well, is kind of like agreed to the most. I would say I'm not a physicist, so I'm going to use what I've learned and read about physics. In quantum physics, uh, particles in the universe are in two primal states. They are in a wave state and they are in a particle state. When they are in a wave state, they are only potential, like possibilities. And when a particle is in this state, it can be on two or more places at the same time, because it's still a probability. And at some point, this particle condenses in space and time, so that it has a physicality and a physical expression, and is expressed as a particle. So before it was a wave, and then it collapses into a point in time, a point and a space, a particular point in space. And to do that, a particle needs something, or these the space particles or the quantum particles need something, and that something is a consciousness. Consciousness is what actually makes this particle collapse into space and time and be expressed in a more physical way, if you will. So you need something that is called conscious. So that consciousness is obviously the power of the creator. And that's why it's so important that out there has to be consciousness, and there has to be an intention of creation. So that's why, again, I think that the purpose of third dimension is actually for us to understand the power of creativity, and how to use our power of creation to actually manifest what we want in space and time. And so that's why I used the name Aberamentho for the community, because I want human beings to become creators and to become white magicians. And that's why I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of the things that I've learned about spirituality, and how to become conscious, and what it means, and what spirituality is, and whatnot. This idea of becoming a creator, and the reason why I think that becoming a creator is the main purpose of our 3D dimension, is, first of all, the story of Jesus and why he chose the name Aberamentho. The second reason why I think is important for us to become creators and actually explore our creative potential is quantum physics, and the notion of the consciousness that is actually needed to actually collapse a particle into space and time, so that it can actually have a physical expression. And the third reason is that if you explore the videos of Dolores Cannon, she also mentions that the purpose of this life is to become creators. It's not actually to learn how to love, or like pure love or anything like that, because in this reality, in 3D, is impossible, I think, to reach pure love. And I think that that's the purpose of the next the next dimension, 3D, 4D, or 5D, depending on what you believe. But actually, also on the Love One books, it stated that the next dimension, which Ra mentions that is the fourth, the purpose of that dimension is to learn about love. But in this chapter, what I want is to show you a little bit about the community and be more practical, if you will. The community so far, of course, the only member is me. I'm looking still for members. In the description of this video, you will find the website to the community so that you can go and check it out. And if you want more information, please feel free to reach out to me because I'm actually looking for members. But so far in the community, of course, I'm the only member so far. And what I've done so far is that I built a road. I am in the process of building my home, my house. And also I've planted a few, not a few, but actually quite quite a lot, I would say, fruit trees. So I will show you a little bit about that. And I'll share with you guys that experience. Because I also want to be practical and show you that this is, of course, this is applied spirituality, so that's why it's important to be practical. And so a little bit about building of the road. At the beginning, I thought that the road was going to take me only 3 weeks. It actually took me 2 months to finish building that thing because of various reasons, because of weather. You know, here in the Amazon, it rains a lot. That's why it's called the rainforest. And also because, you know, at some point the machines were broken, so we had to bring someone to fix them. So it was an ordeal and quite interesting. So I'll show you a little bit of the footage here and the machinery that I had to use to actually build the road. Because obviously if you don't have a road, there's no way that you can bring down material, especially if you want to eventually build a community and build houses and whatnot. So I'll show you a little bit about the building of the road in this footage that I have. And after that, what I did is I started building my house. I haven't finished because I'm actually looking for funding resources right now. And yeah, but in any case, my plan is to eventually go and live there in the community. So it took also, I think that 4 months to actually be in the state that it is right now. And it took a lot of work because the road is actually good for maybe pickup trucks, but it's not good for bigger trucks. And of course, a lot of the material, like the sand, the rocks, and other things that I had to bring could not be brought in small trucks. So they have to be bring down in, you know, either by hand, by us, by me and my neighbors that helped me build the house. But I also use a small tractor. And the problem with the tractor is that it broke down. I tried to fix it because I thought that I knew what the problem is, but it seems like the problem is actually a little bit deeper. So it's been broken ever since. So what we did at some point also is throw a cable line from the community road into the farm so that I can, you know, bring down the materials. And it was quite some work. I'll show you the videos here. And also, because I don't have any electricity, all the cutting of the iron that you see here was done by hand and by me. And yeah, I mean, it was quite some work. But I think that eventually, so what's left of the building the house is that I need to put in the iron structure or the metal structure to hold the first floor or the second floor, and then the ceiling also, because I want to use a material, a constructive material that is called fibrocemento, which are kind of like panels or cement panels that you can actually build and just screw into the structure that you have. So that's what I want to do, and I'll show you here the blueprint of the house so that you can see what's going to be the final layout of the house. And it's actually quite small, and the reason why it's so big, or it seems so big, in is that down below I want to build the garage and also the tool shed, so that I can keep, my tractor, my all the tools that you need for a farm to actually do farming. And also on the top floor is going to be my house. And my house is going to be just two rooms, and one room is obviously going to be for guests, and the second one obviously is going to be for me. So it's a small house, and I want it to be like that. And the reason why it seems so big is also because I wanted the house to be mainly connected to the outdoor. And it has a porch that is actually makes a U shape surrounding the house, that actually lets me, go into the porch and enjoy the outside when I'm not down farming or working the land. So that's why I think that it's going to be beautiful once it's done. But I need to figure out a few things. And the main thing that I need to figure out is electricity. So if any of you guys watching this video knows about how to generate energy and be self-sufficient, let me know. I'm thinking that maybe hydroelectric power is going to be probably the way to go, because there's so much water here. Maybe that's an option, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And also because I think that I'm going to be, or the community is going to be using more energy for other things. For example, like drying fruit or processing fruit, so it doesn't go to waste. And so it will require to have a way to produce energy. As always, thank you for watching. If you want me to go deeper into any of the topics that I mentioned here, please write a comment. Down below in the description of this episode, I'm going to leave the link to the community if you're interested and if you want to learn more about it. And please feel free to reach out to me, and so we can talk about your interest. And as always, thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you on the next chapter.